Oh, hello there and welcome to the channel. And if you saw a video from ours a couple of weeks ago, you'll remember that we did a video on jobs to do in your exotic garden in June. Well, this week we're going to do an update on that to see if I actually did any of the jobs. And to be fair, there is one I'm missing and there's one that I just done before we started filming. So without further ado, we'll have a look around and see how far I got. Oh, before I start, this was one that I did. Now, I remember saying that I wanted to do a couple of cuttings, one of Coleus and one of a lovely red salvia. Now, I know this isn't particularly horticultural, we don't really practice that, or we're taught that at college, but there you go. Massive root system on there, so that is ready to be potted on. Just be very, very careful that you don't damage these roots. Really, these should have gone in a bit earlier, but I wasn't ready to do this video, so they've got a bit longer than I expected to. And a Coleus, it's my favourite. I think it's called Crimson and Gold. And again, another really good massive roots there. Longer than I would have allowed that to go on, but wasn't ready to do this video, so I've kept them as they were. But yeah, so one job done. See that? Now, I said 2 weeks ago this needed repotting on, and Lorna done me an absolute blinder. Got the big gloves out, took it out of the old pot, didn't damage it, got it in this pot, absolutely fine. She did get a few glockids through the gloves into her fingers, poor little mite, but there you go, we did get it into the much bigger pot. And even so, even though that pot is about 4 times bigger than the other one, it still looks, is that a bit too small for it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go into the next bit, which was these lovely old box plants. Now, we have had a bit of a problem with these box plants because they got hit by the box caterpillar moth earlier in the year, and I think when we did the first video we did find at least one caterpillar still on it. But even though I did have a bit of a hit in the spring of the box caterpillar moth caterpillars, I haven't had anything since. I had a little check through yesterday to see if there was any more, so I could do a little bit of video on them for this video. There's none there, and I haven't heard of any other people that I deal with who've also had a return of the box caterpillar moth on this, and that's the first year that this has happened. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but where has the box caterpillar moth gone to? Well, maybe it's because they've eaten all the flipping box and there's nowhere left for them to feed their caterpillars on. But the job that I wanted to do was to trim these, and trim these I have. So this one's come up very, very nicely. This one is okay, but it's still got that residual damage that's still growing through. And this is the one of the plant that actually died. So that's its first or second proper trim. So it's slowly turning into a ball. And give it, say, another 6 months and another trim or two, this should start looking nice like these. But aren't they lovely? They do trim so well. The only thing I notice is a little bit of yellowing on the leaves with this new growth coming through. You see how dark they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be really, really dark green, and not so much. So they just need a feed, and then they'll be right as rain, as long as that flipping moth don't turn up again. Now, if you remember, I had a bit of a serious problem on this Brugmansia. We had the beginnings of mite damage on these leaves, and the problem with mites is that they are greenhouse pests, and a lot of these greenhouse pests are resistant to insecticides. So we sprayed it with an insecticide that I think it's Bug Clear Ultra. I'll show you a picture of that. So we sprayed it with that, and to be honest with you, cleared it up right as well. So that issue with the mite damage on this, because I thought I was going to have to get in a sachet of the predatory mite that would take these out, which is going to be a bit of a faff. Didn't have to do it. No mite on this anymore. The only problem with this right now is it's growing faster than it can take up nitrogen, so some of these leaves are getting quite yellow again. We're constantly having this issue of this plant yellowing because it feeds like an absolute monster. But I have given it a load more fertilizer. It should stop greening up again, and look at this. Okay, we're still June. It's coming to flower. It's already in flower. And the one thing I like about this plant is it's absolutely gorgeous or citrusy jasmine scent, and I love that. But you only tend to get that at night. So I'm going to assume that it's either moth or bat pollinated, probably moth. Not really sure. Probably should look that up. But if you do like having little soirees in your garden in the evenings, a glass of wine, put on your fancy garden lights, then planting the Brugmansia where you're sitting. It's so pungent, absolutely beautiful. Definitely recommend that. We're so close for this coming into flower. Now, there was an issue with this plant, which I'll go into. When I was checking this over a couple of weeks ago, I saw this, what came across this absolutely massive scale insect. Let me show you. Now, at face value, it looks like a little bit of calloused leaf where it might have had a bit of damage from a biting insect, but you know, when you look closer, you know, you see there's an edge on that. So that's a scale insect that needs to be dealt with. However, over the weeks and days, I've become quite fond of this little scale insect, and I haven't really got the heart to either remove it by hand or spray it with insecticide. I think it's done a good effort actually sticking on there and surviving. I don't really want to take it off, so it's now become one of the family pets. And let's be honest with you, it's probably a little bit more entertaining than Lorna's tortoises. So it's been named Walter, short for Walt. You can see what I've done there, and for the meantime it's going to be staying there as a family pet, assuming he doesn't have any babies, and then he's going to flipping get it. Now sadly the Niphofias, the old red top pokers, they finished flowering now, and we've taken all those stems back down to the as far down to the bottom of the foliage as we possibly can. So I really don't like to see snaggy old flower stems sticking up. Let's have a little closer look. So old stems are pretty much invisible in there now, and of course once they finish flowering they put out a shock of new growth, which is absolutely lovely. And with all the management we've been putting on with regards to slugs and snails, we've got very little damage. You can only really see like the old damage from like about a month or so ago. But look at those, these Xanthidicias, they've been flowering now for about 3-4 weeks and still got new flowers coming through. Absolutely superb. And if you want to know how to grow these, because these are pretty hardy, then check out our video on how to grow Xanthidicia ethiopica. Hold on a minute, I've got something important to say. If you've enjoyed this video or just find some of the information in it useful to you, then consider clicking on the like button. That way it makes it a lot easier for YouTube to find other people who want to find that information. Anyway, no further ado, let's continue finding out what old Boyle butt has to say. Now, in that last video we mentioned all the pots that we had sitting in the borders waiting to establish their root system so we can take them out and pot them on. And Lorna's done a really great job of going through, finding which ones are ready and putting them in. The trouble is, there's still a few left over, and also we have this. Another load of plants hardening off under the apple tree, waiting to go into the ground. And there's still more in the greenhouse waiting to come out, and there's still more plants that we've been buying that have been potted on and are waiting for those roots to establish. This potting on plants and planting out, it may never end. So before I go and finish this video, I just want to show you a couple of little things that are looking nice in the garden at the moment, just in case they look crap next time I do a video on it. We've got these little beauties that are a little bit hidden here in the old Crocosmia foliage, but look at that, they're wonderful. It's the middle of June, and yet we've still got one last gorgeous camellia flower on this plant still. What a beautiful thing. Scented geranium has opened up into flower, and that I think is really pretty. But the reason why I bought this is because of the absolutely gorgeous citrusy scented foliage, and the point of that is so we can put it near where we sit, and when you rub against it you get that wonderful fragrance. And this is the last thing. This is Albia variegata. The species name variegata refers to the patterning on the petals there, not actually the succulent foliage there. But look at that. That is commonly known as a carrion flower. It stinks of rotten meat, and it's pollinated by flies. So I'll take that out of the house now before you get infested with them. So all I need to do now is cue my finishing music and say thank you for watching, and if there's anything you would like to add, any great tips, any jobs that you think I should be doing and I haven't done, then let me know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Right, now just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.